Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I decided to pull a Lightworker Oracle card. I hope you're having a beautiful weekend. This was just, something was nudging at me to do a video, so here I am. I didn't even realize Pluto went into retrograde on May 6th. And I've been an emotional disaster today, and I didn't know why. And of course, I started doing my research, and now I know why. Things from the past, things that old relationships, not romantic relationships, just relationships, things that have happened in interpersonal relationships, friendships, relationships with my children, and it could be a little bit ugly, so buckle up for anybody who needs to hear this. Whatever is coming up is meant to come up, so don't fret, my pet. Okay, I'm going to pull one card. I won't go too much into the astrology because I'm not really an astrologist. I'd like to dabble in it and pick and prod. There are so many beautiful videos out there that can really give you the in-depth on what is going on and why you might be feeling the way you're feeling. I certainly jumped on and got some really good information as to why all of a sudden I am sobbing thinking about an old argument or friendships or where I am with certain relationships. I mean, what? Yeah, so, and I got my answer. Oh, wow. Okay, so picked a card. And today's card is Power of the Masculine. It's a number 10. Oh, Power of the Masculine. Power of the Divine Masculine. This is telling me that you are in charge. Boss man, boss lady, but not in charge in the egoic sense of the word. Not necessarily in business, but it may lead you to boss up in business, finances, just in your life. But it's now a matter of taking control of your thoughts. Especially now that we're in retrograde, you're going to have a lot of stuff come up. It's going to make you just question, how am I going to get through this? I am just getting bombarded with shame and guilt stuff. Maybe letting relationships go and then questioning that. I mean, you're going to get, if you are getting bombarded, this is telling you to let the bombardment come in and let it continue on its way out. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out kind of movement. It really is important to catch those thoughts and call them out. They are an untruth. If you're feeling anything but gratitude and love and some form of power over the negative things that are kind of coming in, well, you've got it mastered if you've got that going on. But if you don't have any of those where you're able to turn it around, this is telling you, catch it. Catch that thought, catch those 10 thoughts, catch those 1,000 thoughts every single time. And you can look at it and you can examine saying, okay, well, and if you're feeling emotional to those thoughts, it's time to really be emotional and accept it for what it is. Really just look at it. Be in complete surrender to it. And then just tell your divine masculine self, it's time to go. It's time to go. Any decision you made with any sort of interpersonal relationship, whether it be romantic, familial, anything. You did what you had to do in that time, in that moment, based on where you were at vibrationally, where you were at emotionally, even just the chapter in your life spiritually. Maybe you were totally disconnected. Well, you were disconnected because you were disconnected. That's when you were meant to be disconnected. If you're watching this now, you're probably not as disconnected. In fact, you probably are very connected. So being so connected, things are going to come up, especially during like a retrograde, like Pluto. And I'm just learning about this now. I'm just like, oh, that's, yep. Reading everything. I was like, check. That's what's coming up. But this card is to remind you, it is not your truth. And it's time to let them go. I want to read what Power of the Divine Masculine has to say to us. What does the Oracle have to say to us? An empowering energy seeks expression from within. It wishes to free you from confusion, paralysis, and stagnancy. It seeks to stir you into consciously chosen action, greater discipline, and focus. It's time to end the frustrations of repeating old patterns. And like I was saying, when you're getting those self-limiting thoughts, anything that is below what I call the poverty line of vibration, those lower vibrating thoughts, mistakes, if you will, from the past, because it's all to do with the past. Everything is connected to the past. It's time to stop that pattern of thinking, for sure. And you can do it. Decide what the future should look like for you, what you want it, how you want to feel. Don't worry about the other material stuff. How do you want to feel? What is your future self asking of you? Which is basically your inner child. What is it asking of you for the future? So that we can change these old patterns of thought. Catch them and just say, that's not who I am. It's an untruth. It's false. It's false. It's not real. It's not who you are. I know. I don't care what you tell me you've done. I know that's not who you are. I know. You come from the Creator. You are perfect happiness and light. We just got to get you there to make yourself aware of that truth of who you are. You are ready to break through into a new way of life. That future self is asking for a new way of processing information in the heart, not up here. How are you catching those thoughts that just absolutely do nothing for you? They are of no benefit, no service, and it has no business being in the illustration of your future self. No business. They don't give them your number. Don't give them the key to your apartment. Those thoughts have no business carrying over to who you are wanting to become spiritually, vibrationally, energetically. The money and the health and the relationships, they will come. You don't have to sacrifice those things. But if you really, really get to the core, and that is the thoughts that are just banging through the chamber here. And just become aware of every single thought that comes through that is just below that line. And and it's going to be a hassle at first. You might be a little sore, like going to the gym for the first time after a while. It's going to get a little easier. Have at it. You will see your life change. Feel inspired, be energized, and focus on your dreams and desires. Future self. Take steps to manifest them on the physical plane. Believe your success is inevitable. Yeah, if you're like doubting yourself, that's not going to work. Untruth. I am capable. I may not know what the plan is or have the details, but the key to this formula is that I am worthy of getting that intuitive hit, being in the right place at the right time, having the synchronicities work out for me. I am worth it. Why can't it happen for me? It happens for everybody else. It can happen for you. But it does take some effort. Little divine masculine energy. I mean, you just come in and just go like a bouncer at the club. Sorry. Oh, you're feeling a little bit of guilt because you weren't that great with money a few years back? Or 10 years ago, you never been great with money? Sorry, you're not on the list. You can't come into the club. What? Bouncers like, That's how you have to be. You have to be like baddie warrior about this. Like you just have to like roar this thing through. I'm going to do it. I am ready. I'm done letting these thoughts come in. They're getting into the club. They're not showing ID. They're not paying at the door. They're even like taking bottles off tables. They do not belong. Get them out. The divine masculine in you knows when to accept and when to say no to a belief, fear, habit, person, or situation. Belief is really where I'm going with today's message. Because when it starts with the thought and you can start just hi-ying those things out of your zip code, all the other things you will start to see fall in place so naturally, organically. The relationships, the material, it's like you're just going to feel like a completely different person. All right, let me carry on. This divine masculine energy exists within all men and women. It rallies the spirit and responds in times when you may feel drained, taken advantage of, or overwhelmed by too many choices and demands. It cuts through the confusion that comes with choice and priority setting. It refuses to be distracted and keeps you from being dissuaded from your life purpose. Don't get fooled by the shitty thoughts. And there are thousands of them, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Get really good at being the bouncer. You're the door person. You've got the clipboard. You're not getting in. This is the hottest club in town. Those thoughts do not belong. The divine masculine is growing within you now. It is the spiritual light that reveals the truth without filters or veils. Let this energy clear distractions, demands, and drama from your life. Let it help you discern what is best for you and give you the courage to act on it. Let it help you sort out what is true from what is illusion. Let it help you dedicate your time and energy to what has most meaning for you. It will empower you to claim success in what matters most to you. The Divine Masculine overcomes procrastination. It acts again and again in accordance with the heart. Divine Masculine energy empowers each leading light to lovingly assert him or herself in the world. It supports us in standing up for what has meaning to the heart, while lovingly but firmly saying no when we need to do so. Hell yeah. Do not minimize your inner Divine Masculine, whether you be man or a woman. Bouncer, baby. Nourish it. However, if your masculine energy has been trapped in the wounds of your ancestors, he may demand absolute perfection before you believe you are worthy of love. I think that has a little bit of residue going on in my energy field for sure. I'm trying to heal everything before feeling you're worthy. I know a lot of women especially want to just not attract the same. And there is some truth to that. You don't want to attract. There might be a pattern. You have a bad picker, as they say, with romantic partners. And, sometimes we can get overly obsessed with healing ourselves that we completely just block out any possible connection. But actually, this message is for a few of you. There are some of you that are meant to actually be on the healing journey with somebody. And it's not like a rehab situation where it's really not a good idea if you meet somebody in rehab kind of thing. It's more like you meet each other where you're at, but you both are challenging each other enough with so much love, and that love is pushing you to become better for yourselves and for one another, and that is the healing journey. And you learn and you grow. It's like somebody putting a mirror up to you and you're like, I didn't realize I did that. Okay, that's not pretty and that's not fun for you. And they're like, yeah, duh. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna be more mindful. Yeah, that's called a healthy relationship. A lot of us haven't experienced that. I'm not blaming me or the other or anybody. I'm just saying that's what you call a healthy relationship, where you can really listen and just say, oh, yeah, I don't want to make you feel that way. I don't want to project that. That's not who I am. That was my ego talking, but you know what? I'm allowed to have ego and have emotions, but maybe I can learn to better communicate them without hurting you or somebody else, right? All right, I'm getting off track. Let's get back to the book. He may even be violent towards you. I wasn't expecting that next line. Perhaps keeping you from saying no to violent relationships or self-harming through over-exercising, denying your body good nutrition or rest, or by ignoring your feelings, vulnerabilities, and intuitive wisdom. Yeah, you know when you're out of balance and there's just too much masculine energy. I don't think that applies to the group I'm reading for. I really don't. I think this message is for a group that is really wanting to learn the art of being the bouncer of their thoughts and really taking control and mastering that. He may need healing from your inner divine feminine to feel loved, valuable, worthy, needed, and respected. Then the inner misogynist will fall away as a new, empowered, divine masculine asserts itself within you. Learn to trust this part of yourself Let him become strong in you. He can be your guide, protector, defender. Trust when he says no to something or someone. Trust when he says you are ready for this and encourages you to act. Trust when he says you are, as you trust in him, you will trust yourself to be visible. Your inner divine masculine will help you shine your light without fear, so others can also find their way through darkness into love. That's what I'm saying. You know, this might be resonating with somebody that may have even just met somebody, not really sure if you're totally ready. Been doing the healing work, but you're noticing some triggers coming up, and then you're thinking, maybe I need to go back into my shell, continue doing more healing work. I'm going to get back, jump out of the dating pool, and Spirit is telling me to tell you no. No, well, there's a difference. Trigger or unacceptable behavior. Trigger is something that can be pretty uncomfortable, but you don't feel like a boundary was crossed. You still feel safe, but you're shaky because it's forcing you to look at something you don't want to look at within yourself. And sometimes people will just be like, no, I'm out. No, I'm looking for an easy person in this relationship, and nobody really challenged me. I just am looking for some light fun. Easy. I've been on this healing journey, and I've already self-examined myself, and I don't want to feel, and that might be the case, and you realize, you know, yeah, you'll know which message is for who. But don't necessarily disregard, throw the baby out with the bathwater, whatever that saying is. The sign, another sign of this is, if you're a little uncomfortable after, a day or two, but then you've examined and you've kind of released it, and then you can look at this person again, you're just like, okay, that was good, that was needed, and you feel like there's a little inch closer to that person emotionally. You're not holding on to some weird grudge. That's also a sign that you can probably grow with that person. The invocation is, I call upon the unconditionally loving divine masculine within me. I respect, honor, and need you. I release past pain in how we related to each other. We are blessed with divine love and healing now. Help me to have the courage and self-belief to live my truths and be open about who I am. I honor your strength and power within me. I know that for every dream the divine has placed in my heart, so too has equal measure of confidence, intelligence, strength, and capacity been placed in my soul. I choose to have the courage of my convictions and to journey within to find whatever I need to bring my light fully to the world. May all beings be supported in overcoming pain relating to the masculine principle. May all beings restore, heal, love, and respect him and his divine purpose in the spiritual evolution of humanity. Through my own free will, I invite unconditional love to assist with this process for all beings, so be it. Amen. Pluto retrograde. Things are going to come up. Let them come up. Still be the bouncer of your thoughts. Let them come up and just see them, and see them as they were your past, and they have nothing to do with your future, which is now the present moment. Know that. Know that. And when I mean examine, surrender to what's coming up. And if you need to hear my little voice in your ear saying, you are not that. Anything in the past is gone. It's gone. And 99.9% of us were not where we are now, making decisions, speaking with intention, consciously parenting, relationshiping. We were totally unconscious. We're becoming more conscious and more and more. And, you know, I think the bottom line with this retrograde right now, happening right now, and it's going to be here till, I think, July. If you find yourself sobbing, girl, boy, just sob it out. Because that's what got me like, what the frick? Where am I getting so emotional today? And I started thinking about some things, and I went, then I had a friend, one of my spirit buddies, who I adore, and she reminded me. She said, look it up. I was like, oh my God, how did I miss this? I'm usually on top of at least like fairly significant retrograde, but yeah, I mean, let it out, sob it out, give yourself a good ugly cry. You need to go in the shower, fine, bath, whatever, take a walk, quiet somewhere, be in your bed. What I would recommend though, don't do things to distract it. Don't just jump on social media. Don't just decide to like bury it with a Netflix, although I love Netflix. I'm just saying, have yourself the good cry. Really have yourself the good cry. And feel what you're feeling. And let it come up, and then dust yourself off and say, that's not coming with me into the future. Thank you, Pluto. This is not coming with me into my future, which is the now. The now. It has no business because it ain't on the list. Thank you, folks, for joining me today. If you made it through this crazy loony bin of a video, but I don't care. I love you guys so much. Lightworker Oracle spoke. Thank you, and I love you. Till next time I jump on, be well.